Hello, Airhogs fans, and welcome back to Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Texas. It is now the final game of this three-game set here in Laredo between the Grand Prairie Airhogs and the Laredo Lemurs. Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Humphrey. Thank you for tuning into this broadcast of Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball Live on Ustream. Airhogs have already taken this series 2 games out of 3 and looking for the series sweep tonight. Last night was a 9-6 victory in which the Airhogs scored 9 runs in the first 2 innings and were able to hold off the attack from the Laredo Lemurs. A great job by the bullpen last night, keeping the Lemurs scoreless for the second consecutive game, and will look to do so in this finale on a Sunday night here in Laredo, Texas. For Laredo, making his 5th start of the season is Jeremy Strawn, the right-hander, a 3-0 record, an ERA of 3.81. He's also appeared 4 times in relief in his first professional year of baseball, a rookie out of Florida Atlantic University. He's 23 years old. Also, the younger brother of Josh Strawn, who is a member of the Laredo bullpen, is also a Grand Prairie Airhog. He was with the team last year, so a former Airhog, I should say. So Strawn is the starter tonight. He started out in the bullpen, and now he's in the rotation. This is the lineup that he will face from the Grand Prairie Airhogs under manager Eric Champion. Leading it off, as always, the shortstop Jimmy Mojica, and then batting second, Alex Nunez at second base. Then batting third, the third baseman Abel Nieves. Batting cleanup will be the first baseman Jason Botts. Then batting fifth, the DH Brian Myro. Then batting sixth, Brian Peterson, the catcher. Batting seventh, Frazier Hall in right field. Batting eighth, Madison Carter in left. And batting ninth, Eric Baker in center. So the same lineup for the most part from last night. The only exception, Madison Carter starting in left field for Rede Rodriguez, who left last night's game due to an illness. So Jimmy Mojica will dig in to the batter's box here, the former Laredo Lemur. And here comes the windup in the first pitch from Jeremy Strawn, just a little low for ball 1. Official start time on the first pitch, 7:37 p.m. Our feels like temperature is around 106. It's around 102 right now as Mojica lifts the next pitch high into shallow center field, and Van Straten has to track a long way into shallow center to make that grab, and it's 1 down. So here is your defensive lineup for the Laredo Lemurs now. At first base, John Alonso. At second base, Travis Denker. At shortstop, Devin Goodwin. At third base, Harrison Kane. In left field, J.P. Ramirez. In center field, Nick Van Straten. And in right field, Dennis Phipps. The catcher is Carlos Ramirez. Alex Nunez bounces the first pitch past the first baseman, and Denker will dive to make the stop at second base, but his throw is not in time to stab Nunez. The first baseman, Alonso, dove for it at the first base corner. Denker was there and made a great stop on the ground to stop it from going into right, which maybe could have allowed Nunez to take 2 bases on that play. But instead, it's an infield single for Alex Nunez on the first pitch from Strawn. Nunez last night went 3 for 6 in the Airhogs' 9-6 victory. Now Jeremy Strawn will face Abel Nieves. Looks behind his shoulder, now delivers the first pitch. This is hit high in the air and deep into left center field. Going back is Van Straten. He's going to make the grab on the warning track, and that will be out number 2. Nunez has to scamper back to first base, and will do so safely. But Van Straten showing his speed in center field, now taking away a long drive to left center by Abel Nieves, and it's 2 down here in the first. Now Jason Botts will be the batter. 8 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Yesterday was his 34th birthday, and on the night of his birthday, he went 2 for 2 with an RBI single. He drew 3 walks last night. First pitch, runner going. It's inside for ball 1, and the tag is in time. Nunez caught on the base pads going to second base. And that will end the bottom of the first. A very quick top of the first, I should say, here at Unitrade Stadium. No runs score on 1 hit and nobody left on base by the Airhogs. We move To the bottom of the first now, where the Lemurs will have their first chance to bat. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhawks Baseball. Welcome back to Grand Prairie Airhawks Baseball. Bottom of the first and still scoreless here in the final game of this three-game set. And the Airhawks will send Ryan Searle to the mound in this one. Searle on the season will make start number 13. He is 4-5 this year with an ERA of 4.60. In his last start against the Kansas City T-Bones, went 7 innings and got the win. 4 runs allowed on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. So far this year, he is 0-2 against the Laredo Lemurs in 2 starts with an ERA of 7.43. So he will try to turn things around against the Airhawks South Division rival here tonight. This is the lineup he will face from the Laredo Lemurs under manager Pete Incaviglia. Leading it off, as always, Nick Van Straten, the center fielder. Then batting second, J.P. Ramirez in left. Batting third, Devin Goodwin at shortstop. The cleanup hitter will be Travis Denker at second base. Batting fifth, Dennis Phipps in right field. Batting sixth, John Alonso at first. Batting seventh, Byron Wiley, the DH. And then batting eighth, the catcher, Carlos Ramirez. And then rounding it out, batting ninth, Harrison Kane at third. Nick Van Straten is the batter. Van Straten last night 0 for 5, did drive in a run on a fielder's choice, but so far only 1 base hit in 2 games against the Airhogs in this series. And trying to turn things around against Ryan Searle, the 25-year-old and former Chicago Cubs prospect. And it's time is being called right now as Ryan Searle is searching for a rosin bag. There wasn't one on the pitcher's mound before. That's why the delay was delaying our first pitch. So now he's got his rosin bag and is ready for the first pitch against Nick Van Straten. And here it is. It is taken for strike 1. Well, Nick Van Straten's batting average has now dropped to .332 as he pops it up straight behind the home plate, and Brian Peterson is there to make a cradle catch just on the warning track behind home plate. And that is out number 1. Good time to give you your defensive lineup for the Airhogs. Jason Botts at first base, Alex Nunez at second, Junior Mojica at shortstop, Albel Nieves at third, Madison Carter in left, Eric Baker in center, and Frazier Hall in right. And Peterson, who just made that play behind the dish, is obviously the catcher. So 1 quick out there for Ryan Searle, who'll now face J.P. Ramirez, the left fielder. Ramirez has had a pretty good series as he looks at the first pitch and takes it low for ball 1. Ramirez last night went 2 for 5. In the previous game, he also went 2 for 5 with a home run and another run scored. That home run was to right field, the only home run that has been hit over the right field fence here at Unitrade Stadium all season. Once again, the wind blowing from right to left field at around 15 to 20 miles per hour from the southeast. Bounced on the ground right back to the pitcher, Searle, and he will jog over to first and make a flip to Jason Botts for a quick out number 2. Your umpire crew at home plate is Gilbert Sees, at first base Marty Bauer, and at third base Sean Hicks. So a new substitution into the umpire crew from the last couple of games in this series. Originally it was Javier Cantu instead of Gilbert Sees. The first pitch to Devin Goodwin is swung on and fouled back into the screen for strike one. Devin Goodwin last night went 3 for 5 with 2 singles and a double. Righty versus righty. The windup in the 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air to right field. And Frazier Hall shifting to his right side and will make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning for Ryan Searle in the first. And after one inning, it is still scoreless here at Unitrade Stadium between the Airhogs and the Lemurs. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back. We'll start the second inning now here at Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Texas. 0-0 the score between the Airhogs and the Lemurs. And leading it off in the second will be Jason Botts, who came up in the first inning as well. But then on the first pitch, Alex Nunez was caught stealing to end the frame. So now Botts will try to record his first at-bat of the night. Last night turned 34 years old and went 2 for 2 with a couple of singles, one of them driving in a run, and also walked 3 times in last night's game. He takes strike one from Jeremy Strawn, the rookie pitcher on the mound for Laredo. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The 0-1 is swung on and missed by Botts, and it's quickly 0-2 the count. He'll be followed by Brian Myro and Brian Peterson in the lineup for the Airhogs, 4, 5, 6 hitters. Well, the Airhogs are looking for win number 30 on the season, and right now have a 3-game winning streak, as this is hit high in the air to left, going to go foul and out of play. The longest winning streak that the Airhogs have had all season is 4 games. That was way back in late May and early June when they swept 4 games from the Amarillo Sox on the road. The 0-2 pitch on the way. And Botts takes that just a little low over the plate for ball 1. Jason Botts has moved his average up to .307 now, with 8 home runs and 51 runs batted in. He takes another pitch low, and it's now an even count at 2-2. Airhogs and Lemurs are now tied in the season series at 4 wins apiece, as Botts hits this one high in the air, and Dennis Phipps really didn't have to move from his original position to make that catch. And it's out number 1 here in the second inning. Brian Myro, the next batter. Myro last night went 2 for 5, or 2 for 4, I should say, with a couple of singles and a walk drawn. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. And Myro takes the first one outside for ball 1. 14-year difference between batter and pitcher here. Myro, a 37-year-old veteran and a former big leaguer. Jeremy Strawn, the rookie, delivers the 1-0 to Brian Myro, and is taken on the inside edge of the zone for strike 1. Brian Myro, 263 hitter in 28 games since being activated from the disabled list last month. That is called strike 2. 1-2 the count to Myro. He's got 2 home runs and 13 RBIs. Also has an on-base percentage of .407. Most of that is due to the fact that he's drawn 22 walks in 28 games this year. He pops this one foul on the third base line, and it's going to go out of play. So Myro knows how to work the count, and that's savvy veteran play. As his body starts to get a little older, and he can't really drive the ball as far as he used to. He bounces this one on the ground to shortstop. Devin Goodwin settles and makes the throw over to first, and that's 2 down. So 2 up and 2 down for Jeremy Strawn in the second inning. So far, a very quick game. We've had the minimum number of batters come up so far for both sides. Brian Peterson will be the batter here against Jeremy Strawn in this one. Peterson last night, a grand slam in the first inning, which opened up the scoring and eventually was the difference in the game. He went 2 for 5 last night with a total of 5 runs batted in. And he will take strike 1 from Jeremy Strawn. He got another RBI on a ground out in the second inning with the bases loaded. The 0-1 is on the way. That's a check swing, confirmed by the first base umpire, Marty Bauer. And it's outside for ball 1. 2 outs and nobody on base. Our score is knotted up at 0 in the top of the second inning. Frazier Hall on deck for the Air Hogs. 0-1 pitch is on the way to Peterson. Hit high in the air and deep into left center field. And this will be playable for J.P. Ramirez, who settles underneath it to make the grab. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Strawn in the top of the second. And we're still scoreless going to the bottom half of the inning here in Laredo, Texas, in the final game of this 3-game set. You're listening to Grand Prairie Air Hogs Baseball. Bottom of the second inning now at Unitrade Stadium. Still 0-0 between the Air Hogs and the Lemurs. Final game of this 3-game set. Due up for the Lemurs, Travis Denker, then Dennis Phipps and John Alonso, the 4, 5, 6 hitters in the lineup. Travis Denker last night went 0 for 4, drawing a walk and striking out twice. Denker, the leader in the league in home runs and RBIs, with 21 homers and 64 runs batted in. He'll certainly be representing the Lemurs in the All-Star game as well, along with 3 other players from Laredo, Nick Van Straten, Devin Goodwin, and Tyler Pearson. As Denker calls time before the pitch from Ryan Searle. And now here comes the pitch. And it's just a little low for ball one. Well, Ryan Searle only needed 6 pitches to sit down the Lemurs in the first. A 1-2-3 inning for him. Trying to turn things around against the Lemurs this year. He's already 0-2 against them in 2 starts. He's given up a total of 11 earned runs in 13 1/3 innings. This is swung on and fouled back by Travis Denker, and it's a ball and a strike. Ryan Searle, in his 13th start with the Airhogs this year, has been with the team since day one. And not many players on this team can say that, certainly in the pitching staff. Only 3 pitchers were with the Airhogs on opening day and are still with the team now. Searle calls time, and now Brian Peterson is going to have to go out to the mound. Looks like some confusion on the signals. Maybe just not agreeing on how to pitch to Travis Denker, a big power hitter on the right-handed side. And he's in the right ballpark for that as well. A park that has constant wind, balling fiercely from right to left field. We've seen quite a few home runs in this series already. We had 2 last night, or actually 3 last night. 2 by the Airhogs, 1 by the Lemurs. One ball and 1 strike to Travis Denker. Here's the pitch. And it's popped foul again over the seats this time. And it's a ball and 2 strikes with Dennis Phipps on deck. Travis Denker was drafted by the Los Angeles Dodgers in the 21st round of the 2003 MLB Amateur Draft. Lives in Brea, California. Looks at ball 2 outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's played with many different affiliated clubs in different minor league systems. The Dodgers, the Giants, the Red Sox, the Padres, and the Mariners in his long career. Bounces this one on the ground to second base on the 2-2 pitch, and Alex Nunez is there to make the play at first for out number 1. Now the next batter is Dennis Phipps, the right fielder, as he's been all series for the Lemurs. Another veteran, 29 years old. Last night he was 0 for 4, scoring a run. He was plunked by Jason Jarvis last night, and he was not happy about it. It was right on his left shoulder, and he's going to be plunked again by Ryan Searle this time. And this was on the first pitch, and he is going to take first. Now, I'm not sure if last night's plunk was intentional. It was in the middle of the count, and Jason Jarvis drilled Dennis Phipps with a pitch on his left shoulder. Usually if you want to intentionally throw at someone, you'll throw at his head with a fastball. And it's usually the first pitch. Usually there's nothing that sets a pitcher off in the middle of the count, unless the catcher, Brian Peterson, heard something that he didn't like from Phipps. Next batter, John Alonso, looks at ball 1 upstairs. And I didn't see whether or not Ryan Searle intended to plunk Dennis Phipps either, judging from his body language. So John Alonso is the batter with a runner at first and 1 out. Runner going on this pitch. Peterson's going to throw to second base. The tag is not in time. Brian Peterson is a great defensive catcher, and he didn't even have to come out of his crouch to make that throw, but it just wasn't quick enough to nab Dennis Phipps, and he will steal that bag. Phipps now on the season has 5 stolen bases with the Lemurs. Now the count is 2-0 against John Alonso. Here's the pitch. It's taken upstairs and inside again. 3-0 now to Alonso with Byron Wiley on deck. Actually, it counts 2-1. I apologize. John Alonso in last night's game had a good night, going 3 for 3 and scoring 3 runs. It's this one high in the air to center field. Eric Baker will make the catch on the run. And now Phipps is going to tag at second base and go to third. The play at third base is also late. Phipps was just a few yards away from second base when Eric Baker made the catch. Then he went back to the bag and then started running towards third. So the Airhogs infield, just a little lackadaisical there. And Phipps with some heads-up base running to take third base on the fly out to center. Byron Wiley is the batter. Wiley last night drove in 4 runs in total, a 3-run home run last night, which came in the 5th inning. And also an RBI double in the 2nd. First pitch is just a little inside for ball 1. Byron Wiley in his 13th game in a Laredo uniform this year. Earlier this season was with the Kansas City T-Bones. Takes another pitch inside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Wiley joined the Lemurs on July 15th, and in his debut, he went 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Right now, he has 4 home runs with the Lemurs this season and 8 RBIs in just 12 games. Taken for strike 1 on the inside edge this time. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike with Carlos Ramirez on deck. A runner at third base and 2 outs. Still no score between the Airhogs and the Lemurs. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The 2-1 from Searle is in there for called strike 2. Byron Wiley is from Tomball, Texas. He's 27 years old. And he went to Kansas State to play his college ball. He drives this one into right field. It's going to bounce in front of Frazier Hall, and that's an RBI single for the Lemurs to make it 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd. And Byron Wiley, once again, coming through for the Lemurs in the final game of this 3-game set, an RBI single. And Laredo on the board first in this one. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the opener of this 3-game set. But then the Airhogs came back with 6 unanswered runs after that 3rd inning when the Lemurs took the lead by 3 runs. And then the Airhogs went on to win the opener by a score of 6-3. Carlos Ramirez looks at ball 1 way high from Ryan Searle. Ramirez last night also had an RBI on a double in the 2nd inning. He went 2 for 3 last night. The next pitch is inside for ball 2. Harrison Kane on deck for Laredo. A runner at first and 2 outs. And Laredo on the board first, 1-0 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Now Ryan Searle set from the belt with Byron Wiley on first base. Here is the pitch, and it's low in the dirt for ball 3. Carlos Ramirez, a .210 hitter this year for Laredo in 44 games. 2 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Runner going on this 3-0 pitch. It is called strike 1, and it's going to bounce off of the glove of Nunez and roll into shallow center. And Wiley is going to take third. Alex Nunez tried to handle a one-hop throw from Brian Peterson, but it bounced off of what appeared to be his right shoulder. As I'm looking at the replay, and on that botched play by the Airhogs infield, the base runner Wiley goes all the way to third base. He'll steal the bag and go to third base on the air. That's bounced to the left side. Mojica is going to make a jump throw to first base. Is it in time? Yes, it is! And Mojica with a spectacular play at shortstop. A one-hop throw to Jason Botts. He digs it out of the dirt. and stretches just in time before the base runner Ramirez got to the bag, and that will end the second inning. A run scores on one hit, an error by the Airhogs, and a man left on base. Incaviglia not happy with the call. He's talking with first base umpire Marty Bauer about it. But it's the end of the second inning nonetheless, and it's 1-0 Lemurs going to the third. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back. It's 1-0 Laredo as we move to the third inning at Unitrade Stadium. Jeremy Strawn on the mound for the Lemurs, and will face the bottom of the lineup for Grand Prairie, the 7-8-9 hitters, Frazier Hall, Madison Carter, and Eric Baker. Frazier Hall stands in. Here's the first pitch to him, and he takes it for strike one. Hall last night followed up Brian Peterson's grand slam with a home run of his own to left field, his 6th of the season. He bounces this one to the middle of the infield. Denker with the stop to his right side throws across his body to nab Hall at the bag, and that is the first out. Well, in that last inning, the error that moved the base runner Wiley over to third was on the catcher Ramirez, so a stolen base and an E2 in your scorebook to move Wiley from first to third. Ended up being stranded at third base thanks to a great play by Jimmy Mojica jumping to make the throw over to first and spinning across his body to end the second inning. Madison Carter looks at ball one from Jeremy Strawn. Now here's the next pitch. This one's in there for called strike one. Carter last night went 3 for 5. Didn't score a run he scored 1 run, did not drive in a run last night. Batting in the 9 hole. Now he's batting 8th in the lineup tonight. He pops one foul down the right side. And it's going to go out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Eric Baker on deck. Madison Carter starting in left field tonight. Last night he started at center and then moved to left when Eric Baker subbed in for Rede Rodriguez. This is popped in the air to right. Dennis Phipps a few steps back, and he'll make the grab. Pretty much every single fly ball you hit to right field is going to hang up in the air due to the wind. And Carter learning that on that fly ball to right for out number 2. So now it'll be Eric Baker's turn. Baker last night came in mid-game and went 0 for 2, drawing a walk. He has been thrown out at home plate in each of the last 2 games. So just not able to slide in safely at home and hasn't scored a run yet. Here's the next pitch. This is bounced on the ground, and the pitcher, Jeremy Strawn, makes a great stop between his legs and will make the throw over to first for out number 3. So great reaction there from Jeremy Strawn to put his glove in the right place at the right time. And it's another 1-2-3 inning for Strawn. And after 2.5, the Laredo Lemurs are up 1-0 on Grand Prairie in the final of this 3-game set. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Bottom of the third inning, Laredo 1, Grand Prairie 0. Ryan Searle on the mound for the Airhogs and will face off against the 9-hitter Harrison Kane to start things off in this bottom of the third inning. Kane will be followed by the top of the order, Nick Van Straten and J.P. Ramirez. Well, Kane in last night's game went 0 for 4, was hit by a pitch. The Airhogs hit 4 batters last night and already have 1 in this final game of the 3-game set through just a couple of innings. That was to Dennis Phipps. Now Ryan Searle delivers the first pitch to Kane. That's hit high in the air to the right side of the infield. Who's going to call for it? It's going to be Nunez, the second baseman. And no mistake there on out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Ryan Searle. Now Nick Van Straten is the batter. Van Straten is now 10th in the American Association in batting average at .332. Dropped it a little lower after last night going 0 for 5 with a run driven in on a fielder's choice with the bases loaded. First pitch from Searle is taken for strike 1. Van Straten likes to sit his bat on his right shoulder and then leans into every pitch, almost like a check swing from where my vantage point is on the third base line. Almost checks his swing every single time. He looks at called strike 2. Van Straten thought it was a little too inside. But it's no balls and 2 strikes to Van Straten, the veteran center fielder. Hits this one up the middle through the hole between Mojica and Nunez, and that's a single for Van Straten. 1 out and now runner at first base for the Lemurs with J.P. Ramirez the batter. Ramirez grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning. Ramirez last night 2 for 5 with a double. Also a walk drawn. Left-handed batter and a right-handed pitcher. Van Straten is leading off for the Lemurs at first base. This is hit high in the air to left field. Madison Carter is underneath it, and he will position himself perfectly for out number 2. And another quick out for Ryan Searle on the first pitch. Next one is Devin Goodwin. Goodwin flew out to right field in the first inning. Goodwin with 13 RBIs, 13 home runs, which is good for 4th in the league, as well as 23 multi-hit games this year. However, he has not homered in 17 games, which is his longest drought of the season. Last home run came on July 6th against Amarillo. Ryan Searle set for the first pitch. Here it is. Just inside for ball 1. It's 1-0 Laredo. 1 run on 1 hit in the second inning. Also an error by the Airhogs in the second. The next pitch is bounced foul by Goodwin, and it's a ball and a strike to the shortstop, who will start at shortstop for the South American Association All-Star team. All-Star game is just a couple days away now on Tuesday. So guys here in Laredo are going to have to fly all the way up to Winnipeg and then come all the way back down Laredo for a 3-game set the next series. This is a bouncer to the third baseman. Nieves tried to barehand it off of the infield grass, but cannot handle it into his palm. And safe on the infield single is Devin Goodwin. Now it's runners at first and second base with 2 outs. Travis Denker is the next batter. Denker grounded out to second base in the second inning. That will be an infield hit officially for Devin Goodwin. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Now Ryan Searle facing Travis Denker, who's dangerous in these spots with runners in scoring position. First pitch is low for ball 1. Travis Denker this season, and batting average of .320. 20 home runs is the single-season record for Laredo all-time, shattering Palmer Card Jr.'s previous record of 13 in 1 year. As Denker looks at another pitch inside from Ryan Searle, it's 2-0. Denker with runners in scoring position, a .346 hitter. Ryan Searle set at the belt. Here's the 2-0. And it's just a little outside this time. Now 3 balls and no strikes to the veteran Denker. On deck is Dennis Phipps, another dangerous batter against the Airhogs, as pitchers for the Airhogs have noticed in these last couple of series against Laredo. Righty versus righty, runners at first and second, 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. Denker hits the 3-0 pitch high in the air, and it will go foul down the left side. Counts now 3-1 to Travis Denker, the second baseman, batting in the cleanup hole. Laredo still tops in the league in team batting average at .306 this season. Second place in that category are the Winnipeg Goldeyes at .296, so a 10-point cushion for Laredo, as that is popped foul. Brian Peterson seeing if he has a play. He does not. And now a full count to Travis Denker. Laredo has scored 369 runs this year, second only to the Wichita Wingnuts with 381. Airhogs, as a comparison, have scored 327. Runners at first and second base. 2 outs still in the bottom of the third inning. Airhogs trail by a run to Laredo. In the final game before the All-Star break. Here's the pitch to Denker. And it's popped foul on the 3-2 pitch. Runners were going on the play with 2 outs and a full count. Travis Denker also has had a big home run drought lately. Hasn't had a long ball in 11 games, which is also his longest drought of the year. The 3-2 pitch bounced on the ground to second base. Nunez charging in, makes the throw to first, and that will end the threat. No run score on 2 hits, 2 men left for the Lemurs, and after 3 innings, it is 1-0 Laredo in the final game of this 3-game set. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back to Grand Prairie Airhawks baseball. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Laredo. We'll look at some other scores around the American Association as Jimmy Mojica leads it off. Most of the games have already gone final today. Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks, 13-5 winners at home over the St. Paul Saints. Kansas City getting a road victory over the Lincoln Salt Dogs, 9-2. Winnipeg shutting out the Gary South Shore Railcats 12-0 on the road as Mojica looks at ball one from Jeremy Strawn. Sioux City 10, Sioux Falls 9. That's also a final. In a 3-hour and 30-minute game in Sioux Falls. And then one more game is still going on. That's the other two South Division teams facing each other. Wichita with a slight lead on the road over the Amarillo Sox, 7-6. That's in the top of the seventh inning. It's 1-0 here in the top of the fourth in favor of Laredo, and Jimmy Mojica leans backwards on the fastball from Jeremy Strawn. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Mojica flew out to center field in the first inning of this game. Now Strawn delivers a strike on the outside corner on the lower third of the zone as well. And it's an even count now at 2-2. Mojica will be followed by Alex Nunez and Abel Nieves in the lineup for the Airhawks. So far, Strawn has faced the minimum, giving up just 1 hit. That is called strike 3, and Strawn will pick up his first strikeout of the night, and it comes to Jimmy Mojica, who is saying some words to home plate umpire Gilbert Sees. So 1 out here in the fourth, and the next batter, Alex Nunez, who grabbed a single in the first inning, but then was caught stealing to end the first. And he tried to go to second base to try and get his 9th stolen base of the season. Looks at ball 1 high. Nunez batting with an average of .362 in 34 games with the Airhawks. He's going to bunt this one foul into the backstop, just to the left of Abel Nieves, who was in the on-deck circle. Nunez also with a .405 on base and a .440 slugging in just these 34 games with the Airhawks this year. Swings and foul tips this one into the screen. And it's a ball and 2 strikes to Alex Nunez, the 33-year-old veteran second baseman who's a native of Venezuela. Nunez left-handed batter against Strawn, the right-handed pitcher. He nods and starts his windup for the 1-2. This is bounced on the ground, foul down the first base line. That one seemed to sneak into the rain tarp. It went through the tube that keeps the tarp together and then popped out on the other side. So a ball and 2 strikes now to Alex Nunez. Now the windup again from Jeremy Strawn. Here's the pitch. And it's a little low over the plate for ball 2. Alex Nunez last night went 3 for 6 with an RBI double in the second inning, giving him 19 RBIs this year with Grand Prairie. 2-2 pitch, again bounced foul down the first base line. This time Alonso thought he had a play at it at first, but just rolling outside the bag at first. The Airhogs as a team are batting .273, have improved in that category over the last couple of weeks. Started out around the .260, .250 range in the middle part of this season. Now really starting to find their offensive groove. Had a couple of mid-season acquisitions to help out with that. Nunez is one of those guys that has really bumped up the team batting average as of late. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The windup in the pitch from Strawn. This is lined into left. And charging in to make the catch is J.P. Ramirez. It was hit on a rope to left field. And Ramirez with a great reaction to make a few steps inward and make the grab for out number 2. So now the next batter is Abel Nieves, a fly out to center field in the first inning. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Jeremy Strawn has now sat down the last 9 Airhogs batters. Strawn, the rookie out of Florida Atlantic University in his first professional year, 3-0 record, an ERA of 3.81. He's in start number 5 of his career. That is a little low to Nieves on the first pitch for ball 1. Well, Nieves will be making the trip to Winnipeg after this game as well to start in the All-Star game at third base for the South All-Star team. Takes another pitch low for ball 2. Nieves, a .335 hitter this year, .357 last season, and he won the batting title in the American Association with that mark. It's another pitch outside and a little low from Strawn, and now 3-0 is the count to Abel Nieves. Says he likes playing at third base a little better than right field, where he's also been placed quite a few times this season. That is a little outside, but it's on the outside corner for called strike 1. Jason Bott's on deck with 2 outs and nobody on base in the top of the 4th inning. Nieves with a bouncer to third base. That's Harrison Kane with the stop and the throw over to first. And another 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Strawn in the 4th. So it's still 1-0 Laredo as we move to the bottom of the 4th inning. This game got a very fast pace to it here in the final game of this 3-game set at Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Texas. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Laredo 1, Grand Prairie nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. Airhogs looking for the 3-game sweep of Laredo, their South Division opponents, and looking for win number 30 of the season. Ryan Searle on the mound. He'll face Dennis Phipps, John Alonso, and Byron Wiley at the very least in this bottom of the 4th inning. Phipps was plunked by the first pitch from Ryan Searle in the 2nd, and then ended up stealing a base and scoring in the 2nd inning. So far, that's the only run of the game. Right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Phipps, and it's 0-1 the count. Dennis Phipps last night went 0 for 4, scoring a run when he was hit by a pitch last night as well, and that started a little bit of a scuffle. Phipps didn't like the fact that he was plunked on his left shoulder by Jason Jarvis, and ended to the. It led to the benches being cleared as well as the bullpens, but nobody really was thrown out of the game for any unsportsmanlike conduct or anything. So it ended very quickly and calmly. The 1-1 pitch is hit high in the air to center. And going back a few steps is Eric Baker, but it's an easy fly ball out for him in the end. That's 1 down in the 4th. Well, after the All-Star break, the Airhogs will go back out on the road for a 4-game set against the Lincoln Salt Dogs at Haymarket Park. And then directly following that, on Sunday, August 3rd, they will start an 8-game homestand, 4 games against this team here, the Laredo Lemurs, and then 4 more games against the Amarillo Sox. From that point on, it's all South Division opponents after that final cross-divisional series with Lincoln. The month of August is going to be all division opponents for the most part for the Airhogs. So it's important that they try to get into a groove before that long and grueling stretch at the end of the season. That's inside to John Alonso. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Alonso flew out to center field in the second inning of this game. Ryan Searle with the pitch. That is lined into left center, and this is going to fall for a base hit. Eric Baker off his glove initially, but Alonso not thinking about taking another base now. And that's the 4th base hit of the game for the Lemurs. Runner at first and 1 out for Byron Wiley, who drove in the only run of the game so far with an RBI single in the second. Then got all the way to third on a stolen base and an error by the catcher, but could not score in the second inning, stranded at third base. Byron Wiley last night a 3-run home run as well as an RBI double. So a good feeling batter for the attempted comeback by the Lemurs last night, but the deficit was just too far to overcome. The Airhogs with 9 runs in the first couple of innings to take a 9-0 lead. And even the high-powered offense of Laredo couldn't find its way back. They had their opportunities, but couldn't bring runs across the board as Wiley pops a pitch high in the air to center field, and Eric Baker is a busy man in this bottom of the 4th so far. He makes another grab for out number 2. So that'll bring up the catcher Carlos Ramirez, who ended the second inning on a ground out to second base, but it was a spectacular play by Jimmy Mojica going to his right side and jumping to make the throw to first. A one-hop throw to Jason Botts, who stretched to just get it into his glove before Ramirez beat out the throw. And that also saved a run for the Airhogs. Ramirez last night 2 for 3 with an RBI double. Searle from the belt delivers the first pitch, and it's low and outside, ball 1. Ramirez, a 26-year-old catcher, lives in Tucson, Arizona. Last played in Double-A Arkansas in the Los Angeles Angels minor league system. That's called strike 1 to Ramirez, now 1-1 the count. Harrison Kane on deck for Laredo. A man on first and 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, the Airhogs down by a run. This is hit high in the air to shallow left. Jimmy Mojica, the shortstop, all the way out to make the grab, and he will do so to end the 4th inning. So no runs, a hit, a man stranded for the Lemurs after 4 complete innings here in Laredo. It is 1-0 Lemurs. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball, live on Ustream. I'm Andy Humphrey. Start of the fifth inning. The Airhogs down 1-0 to Laredo. As Jeremy Strawn has sat down the last 10 Airhogs batters. Jason Botts will be the first batter of this fifth inning. Strawn so far has faced the minimum, only allowing one base hit so far. He is looking for his third consecutive victory. In his last start, he gave up 6 runs on 7 hits in 5 2/3 innings of work against the Wichita Wingnuts, but Laredo outscoring Wichita 9-7, as Botts will drive this one into right field on the first pitch on the ground, and that breaks the retired batter's streak for Jeremy Strawn, as Botts leads off the fifth inning with a single. Now the next batter, Brian Myro. Myro grounded out to shortstop in the second inning of this game. Myro the DH, as he has been all series. He's also played at first this road trip, as well as in left field. But that is low for ball one. Over the plate, but not high enough for Jeremy Strawn, the starter. Younger brother of former Grand Prairie Airhog Josh Strawn, who is available in the bullpen for Laredo in this game, as that's taken outside for called strike one. Strawn has made, Jeremy Strawn that is, has made one appearance so far against Grand Prairie. It was here back on June 28th. There was 2 innings in relief, no runs given up, and no hits as well. A walk and no strikeouts. Only faced 7 batters in those 2 innings of work. A ball and 2 strikes now to Brian Myro. On deck for the Airhogs, Brian Peterson. Runner at first base and nobody out. Airhogs trying to get on the scoreboard. 1-2 pitch to Myro. Check swing a little high, and it's going to be ball 2. Brian Myro, 37 years young. A brief time in the majors from 2005 to 2008. A total of 52 games for the Dodgers and the Padres. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The 2-2, a little high again. And it's going to be a full count now to Brian Myro, who drew 3 walks a few nights ago against the Kansas City T-Bones. Drew a walk last night as well, going 2 for 4. That's popped high in the air behind home plate. Carlos Ramirez going back to the foul screen. He won't have a play as it bounces into the seats. And it's still 3 balls and 2 strikes to Brian Myro. The Airhogs have been out-hit 4-2, outscored 1-0 so far. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Airhogs also with 1 error. Lemurs had a costly error last night. Could have been an inning-ending double play before Brian Peterson's grand slam ended up being the difference in the game. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Jeremy Strawn now on the pitcher's rubber as Brian Myro steps back into the batter's box. Jason Botts at first base, nobody out in the top of the 5th inning. Now we're set for the 3-2 payoff pitch. Here it is. This is lined into right field for a base hit. Once again, through the hole between first and second base, and a couple of singles here to lead off this 5th for the Airhogs, looking to find the scoreboard here in the final game of this 3-game set. Myro 1 for 2 tonight, and it brings up Brian Peterson, the catcher. Peterson flew out to left field in the second inning. 0 for 1 so far tonight. And as I mentioned earlier, the grand slam last night in the first inning, opening up the scoring in last night's contest. Airhogs went on to win by 3 runs. Corner infielders in for Laredo as this is popped up. And the shortstop Goodwin out to shallow left to make the grab. And on the first pitch, Strawn retires Peterson for the first out. Now it'll bring up Frazier Hall. Lately, Hall has been very reliable in these runners in scoring position situations. Last night went 1 for 5 with a solo home run in the first, right after Brian Peterson's grand slam. Hall this season with runners in scoring position batting .283. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Bounce slowly to the pitcher's mound. Strawn picks it up off the ground. Low throw, but it's handled by John Alonso, and it will be out number 2. That's going to move runners to second and third base, but almost a costly error by the pitcher Strawn, as it was a slow ground ball right back to the pitcher's mound. And now Pete Incaviglia jogging out from the dugout to talk with Jeremy Strawn with runners at second and third and 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Jeremy Strawn's pitch count not really threatening him right now. It's only up to 55 pitches. Through 4 2/3 innings of work in start number 5 of the year. Incaviglia now back to the dugout. Next batter, Madison Carter, who went 3 for 5 last night, scoring 1 run. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. First pitch taken right down the middle for strike 1. Carter in this game 0 for 1, a fly out to right. 22-year-old rookie out of Texas. Also a native of Sherman, Texas. Righty versus righty. The 0-1 is bounced slowly to first base. Alonso with the gobble and the stop. Takes it to the bag himself to end the top of the 5th. So no run score for the Airhogs on 2 hits, and they leave 2 runners in scoring position. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning, it's still 1-0 Laredo here at Unitrade Stadium. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Bottom of the 5th inning, the Airhogs trail the Laredo Lemurs 1-0 here at Unitrade Stadium. Leading off this bottom of the 5th, Harrison Kane, the third baseman, batting in the 9-hole, followed by Nick Van Straten and J.P. Ramirez. Harrison Kane 0 for 1 in this one. A pop-up to second base in the 3rd inning, facing Ryan Searle. Lined up in the first pitch from Searle is on the way, and it's a little high for ball 1. Now quickly, here's the 0-1 pitch, and this is hit high in the air to left center field. Is it deep enough? No. Madison Carter just a couple of steps away from the warning track, and he makes the catch there. And quickly out number 1 for Ryan Searle in the 5th. Well, Ryan Searle is 4-5 this year. On Monday at Kansas City, he started the first game of this current road trip for the Airhogs, going 7 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks in a victory. Dropped his ERA down to 4.60. That's taken for strike 1 by the next batter, Nick Van Straten. 1 for 2 tonight is Van Straten with a single in the 3rd. Righty versus righty in this matchup. Wind up in the 0-1 from Searle is again taken for called strike 2 this time. Van Stratton, a native of St. Louis, Missouri. A veteran that played for Sioux Falls last season. Bounces this one on the ground to second base. Alex Nunez to his left. Just a couple of shuffles to his left side and makes the throw over to first after grabbing it for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down for Ryan Searle in the 5th inning. A fast pace to this game. Jeremy Strawn has really been dealing in the first 4 innings of this one against the Airhogs, and Ryan Searle allowing a couple of base runners here and there since giving up his first run of the game in the 2nd inning, but has kept his cool against the Lemurs here in this 13th start of the season. Winds up and delivers to J.P. Ramirez. Called strike 1 on the outside corner. Ramirez 0 for 2 tonight, a ground out to the pitcher and a fly out to left. Now quickly, here's the 0-1. This is lined into right center field. This is going to bounce for a base hit. And Frazier Hall, the one to pick it up and bring it back to the diamond. A 2-out single for J.P. Ramirez, the left fielder. 1 for 3 on the night is he, and it brings up Devin Goodwin. Goodwin also 1 for 2, a single in the 3rd. 1-0 is your score in favor of the Laredo Lemurs, trying to avoid the 3-game sweep of the Airhogs. First pitch to Goodwin is in there for called strike 1. Searle doing well against these last few batters, getting ahead in the count early on called first strikes. Now here's the 0-1 to Goodwin, and it's swung on and foul tipped into the screen. 0-2 the count. Travis Denker on deck with a runner at first base and 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Airhogs have been out hit 5-3 in what has so far been a pitcher's duel. Searle working from the stretch, looks into the signals from Peterson. Ramirez leading off at first base. Now set at the belt is Searle. Here is the 0-2. This is popped up in the air on the right side, and I don't believe anyone will have a play at this one as it bounces in the seats a few rows back. And it's still no balls and 2 strikes to Devin Goodwin, the shortstop. Goodwin last season played for the Kansas City T-Bones. Lives in Homewood, Alabama. He's 27 years old. Has 13 home runs this year, but hasn't had a home run since July 6th against Amarillo. 13 home runs for Goodwin is good for 4th best in the league. 0-2 on the way. Again, lined foul into the screen this time. Ryan Searle now up to just 66 pitches through 4 2/3. In his last outing, he went well over 120 against Kansas City. A man at first base and 2 outs. Ryan Searle trying to get out of this 5th. Here's the 0-2 to Goodwin. This is again line foul down the right side, bouncing over the seats this time. Still 0-2 to Devin Goodwin, a big power hitter in this right-handed batter-friendly stadium. Wind blowing from right to left field. And power hitters like Devin Goodwin, Travis Denker, and John Alonso have had very good seasons here as a result. The 0-2 pitch is hit high in the air to right center field. This will be Frazier Hall's play, and he will make the play for the 3rd out. No runs, a hit, a man stranded. And after 5 innings, it's still 1-0 Laredo here in Laredo, Texas. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Top of the 6th inning, the Airhogs trail 1-0 to Laredo. Trying to complete a 3-game sweep of the Laredo Lemurs. So far, the Airhogs have only had one series sweep this season. It was 4 games on the road against the Amarillo Sox way back in late May. So trying to do so again against another South Division opponent. Eric Baker leads off this top of the 6th. He takes strike 1 from Jeremy Strong. Eric Baker 0 for 1. A ground out to the pitcher to end the 3rd inning. Righty versus righty and rookie versus rookie. The 0-1 on the way. A bunt shown. It's right back to the pitcher. Jeremy Strong picks it up and a good throw over to first base. And that's out number 1. Baker, not a great bunt there. It was only a 1-hopper to the pitcher. Jeremy Strong tried to put that on the third base line, it appeared, to make Harrison Kane charge in to make a defensive stop. But Baker instead thrown out for out number 1 in the 6th. Now the boos rain down on Jimmy Mojica, 0 for 2, with a strikeout in his last at-bat. First pitch from Jeremy Strong, bounced foul into the screen. Mojica last season with the Laredo Lemurs batted with an average of .312, playing in 91 games for Laredo. He also led the Lemurs in runs batted in last year with 61. And he takes ball 1 from Jeremy Strong. Alex Nunez on deck. Jimmy Mojica, batting average of .305 this year in 56 games with Grand Prairie. This is hit high in the air, and it's going to go foul into the seats. A ball and 2 strikes now to Jimmy Mojica. A home run for Mojica this year with 21 runs batted in. Last season, Mojica had 10 homers. Strong winds up for the 1-2. Little inside again, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mojica, 30 years old, has played for 7 different teams in the American Association. St. Joe, Pensacola, St. Paul, Wichita, Kansas City, Laredo, and now Grand Prairie. That's called strike 3 on the inside edge. Mojica hasn't been a big fan of Gilbert Cease's strike zone tonight, but he's going to sit down again on strikes for out number 2. That's the second strikeout of the game for Strong as well. 2 down in the 6th, and Alex Nunez is the batter. He's 1 for 2 with a single in the 1st inning. Flew out to left field in the 4th. Jeremy Strong settling down again, has only allowed 3 base hits for the Airhogs tonight, and so far kept them scoreless through 5 2/3 as he delivers ball 1 upstairs to Alex Nunez. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. The windup in the 1-0. This is lined into right field, and it's a base hit for Nunez. 2 for 3 on the night as the veteran second baseman for Grand Prairie. Last night he was 3 for 6. And adding to his base hit total there in this series with 2 outs in the 6th inning. Next batter, Abel Nieves, the All-Star. 0 for 2 on the night is Nieves, a fly out to center, a ground out to third base. Alex Nunez was caught stealing in the first to end the 1st inning. We'll see if he tries to go on another pitch here. That is called strike 1 to Nieves. Nieves, a batting average of .335 coming into this contest. A home run and 27 RBIs for the defending American Association batting champ. This is popped high in the air to right field. Dennis Phipps has to charge in to make this catch, and he will make the grab on the run. A cradle catch over to his left side, and it will end at the top of the 6th. No runs, a hit, a man stranded for the Airhogs. And now we move to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Unitrade Stadium with the score still 1-0 Lemurs on top. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back to Grand Prairie Airhogs baseball. Bottom of the sixth inning, the Airhogs trailing 1-0 against the Lemurs, their South Division opponents. On a 3-game winning streak right now and looking for the series sweep to extend that winning streak to 4 games and earned win number 30. Right now they sit at 29-36 on the year. Leading off the bottom of the sixth, Travis Denker, 0 for 2 tonight with a couple of ground outs to second base. Ryan Searle back in there for inning number 6. On the mound for the Airhogs in his 13th start. Record of 4-5. 0-2 record against the Lemurs. And so far, not really getting the run support, trailing 1-0. As we're more than halfway through this one, that's a swing and a miss by Travis Denker on the first pitch. A breaking ball by Ryan Searle. Travis Denker, 20 home runs this year to lead the AA. Also leads the league with 64 RBIs. Searle with the 0-1. It's breaking low and away for ball 1. Jason Botts is 51 runs batted in this year, 13 behind Travis Denker for the RBI lead. In second place is Henry Wrigley of St. Paul with 55. Searle with the 1-1 pitch, a little low and away again. 2 balls and 1 strike to Travis Denker, who will be followed by Dennis Phipps, the right fielder, and John Alonso, the first baseman, in this bottom of the sixth inning. That's the 4-5-6 part of the lineup for Pete Incaviglia and the Laredo Lemurs. The 2-1 pitch on the way to Travis Denker, and it's popped foul and going to go soaring into the Laredo Knights on the right side. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Travis Denker. Denker was drafted by the Dodgers and has played for their minor league system as well as the Giants system, the Red Sox, the Padres, and the Mariners. Bounces this one, and it's right back to the pitcher, Searle, with the stop. And a good throw to Botts at first base, 1 down. So a quick out there for Searle. And the next batter, Dennis Phipps, who is 0 for 1 with a run scored tonight when he was hit by a pitch in the second inning, then stole a base, and then some good heads-up base running on a fly out to center field. Eric Baker was a little slow getting the throw into the infield diamond, and Phipps taking advantage, taking third base, and eventually he scored on an RBI single by Byron Wiley. Phipps shows bunt on the first pitch from Searle, and it's taken for ball 1. Now the next one is popped into the air and foul, going into the seats, and even counted a ball and a strike to Phipps. Another veteran is Dennis Phipps. Joined the Lemurs on June 21st. Last played for Louisville in an affiliated ball. 29-year-old veteran. He bounced this one slowly to first base, and Jason Botts able to get to the first base line to make that play as it started to hug the line down the first base foul line, but Jason Botts able to shuffle his body over and take it to the bag himself for out number 2. And a couple of ground ball outs to start out this 6th inning for Ryan Searle. Lemurs with a 1-0 lead. They've out-hit the Airhogs 5-4 in a game that has really been about the pitching so far. Jeremy Strawn against Ryan Searle, doing well to keep the offenses quiet tonight and keeping the pace of this game going pretty rapidly. So far, we haven't reached an hour and 30 minutes of gameplay, and we're almost through the 6th. This is bounced foul down the line at third by John Alonso, the next batter. It's no balls and 2 strikes against Alonso, the veteran. He is 1 for 2 tonight in this game, a single in the 4th inning. John Alonso was with Laredo last year as well. And Alonso had 8 home runs with the Lemurs, batting .305 in 2013, as well as 55 runs driven in. Grand Prairie and Laredo went 7-7 against each other last year, as Alonso bounces another pitch foul down the line at third, and it's still 0-2. So far, the Airhogs and Lemurs are tied at 4 games apiece in the season series. They'll have a few more opportunities against each other in Grand Prairie, as well as one more series here in Laredo. This is lined foul once again. This one a little more harder hit by Alonso, but it's just slashing foul, and it's still no balls and 2 strikes. John Alonso lives in Orlando, Florida. He's a 28-year-old veteran. Searle with the windup in the 0-2. This is hit high and deep into left center. Carter going back. He's looking over, and it's gone. A home run from John Alonso doubles the lead for the Lemurs. 2-0 the score in the 6th. John Alonso with home run number 13 of the year. He now has 39 runs batted in. Comes into a tie with Devin Goodwin for second place on the team in home runs. And he rounds the bases to make it 2-0 Laredo in the bottom of the 6th inning. Now 2 outs and nobody on for Byron Wiley, and Eric Champion is out to the mound to talk with Ryan Searle. Searle so far in this one is only at 81 pitches. But Eric Champion talking to him, seeing if he's all right. He's been through 5 2/3 and has pitched very well, only giving up 2 earned runs on 6 hits. And able to get out of quite a few jams already. Byron Wiley is the next batter. Wiley in this one is 1 for 2. An RBI single in the 2nd inning. Also a stolen base in the 2nd. The DH tonight. Last night he was in left field. That's low and in for ball 1. Ryan Searle has had some trouble with giving up home runs this year. Searle now with his 10th home run allowed in 2014 after that one from John Alonso. And it's now a ball and a strike. That one's in the zone for Searle. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher as Searle calls time and steps off the rubber for just a moment. The Airhogs looking for their series sweep against Laredo, but trail 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. And the way that Josh Strawn, or Jeremy Strawn, I should say, has been pitching in this one, it's unlikely that the Airhogs can find some runs in this one. Going to have to work Jeremy Strawn's pitch count. As it's now a ball and 2 strikes after that bouncer foul by Byron Wiley. On deck for the Lemurs is Carlos Ramirez. Ryan Searle trying to avoid a 3rd consecutive loss against Laredo this year. Looks in to the signals from Peterson as Wiley takes his time getting into the batter's box. Searle doesn't like to take a lot of time between pitches, so this is definitely bothering him as Wiley is going to call time again and step out. It's a ball and 2 strikes the count with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 6th inning. Airhogs have been out-hit 6-4 and outscored 2-0. Now here's the windup in the 1-2 pitch. And that is a swing and a miss. And Ryan Searle with his first strikeout of the game to end the 6th inning. But a run scores on 1 hit, a big hit by John Alonso to left center field over the fence to make it 2-0 Laredo after 6 full innings here at Unitrade Stadium. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Top of the 7th inning here at Unitrade Stadium. The Airhogs trailing 2-0 to the Laredo Lemurs, with Jason Botts leading it off in the top of the 7th. Once again, we'll update you on your out-of-town scoreboard. 13-5, the Fargo-Moorhead Redhawks defeated the St. Paul Saints earlier today. And Kansas City on the road defeated the Lincoln Salt Dogs 9-2. Winnipeg shutting out the Gary South Shore Railcats on the road in Gary, as this is hit high and deep into right center by Jason Botts. Going back, Nick Van Stratton, he makes the catch on the warning track. And 1 pitch, 1 out for Jeremy Strawn in the 7th. On a hard hit ball to right center field by Jason Botts, but it's no match for Nick Van Stratton as he tracks it down in center field for out number 1. Finishing out the scores, Sioux City defeated Sioux Falls 10-9 earlier today. And still going on in the bottom of the 8th inning, Wichita on top of Amarillo 9-6 in Amarillo. The matchup between the other two teams in the South Division. This one obviously 2-0 in favor of Laredo in the top of the 7th, as strike 1 is delivered to Brian Myro. Now here's the 0-1 from Strawn. And another check swing outside for ball 1. Myro tonight is 1 for 2, a single in the 5th inning. Now faces a 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. No chance catching up to that fastball from Jeremy Strawn, the young rookie pitcher. And it's quickly 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brian Myro. Left-handed batter and a right-handed pitcher. Brian Peterson is on deck for the Airhogs, trailing it 2-0. Little upstairs on the next pitch from Strawn. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strawn looking for his 3rd consecutive victory. Got a win against Sioux Falls on July 17th and then at Wichita in his last start on July 22nd. Popped foul into the screen by Myro, keeping the count even at 2-2. Strawn's a rookie out of Florida Atlantic University. Lives in Bradenton, Florida, 23 years old. Made his professional debut on June 18th against the Wichita Wingnuts. That's a swing and a miss on the 2-2 pitch. Myro chased a pitch low and away, and it's quickly 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning. Strikeout number 3 for Strawn. Well, it's been a pitcher's duel so far tonight. Strawn with a slight lead over Ryan Searle, keeping the Airhogs scoreless in this one so far through 6 2/3 now, as he faces Brian Peterson, who had a big home run last night, a grand slam in the 1st inning. Just a little upstairs on the first pitch to Peterson, and it's ball 1. Peterson 0 for 2 tonight, a fly out to left and a pop-up to the shortstop. Strawn winds up the 0-1. Or the 1-0, I should say, lined into left. And to his right, J.P. Ramirez makes the grab. Glove on his right-hand side, and it was right there to make the play. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Strawn in the 7th. It's 7th inning stretch time here at Unitrade Stadium. The Lemurs lead it 2-0 over the Airhogs. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back to Grand Prairie Airhogs baseball. New pitcher in the game for the Airhogs as they trail it 2-0 going to the bottom of the 7th. It's going to be Danny Gutierrez, who is usually in the starting rotation, but since his next scheduled start isn't until Thursday, Air Champion deciding to give him some work here just before the All-Star break. Gutierrez last appeared last Wednesday, getting the start against the Kansas City T-Bones and also grabbing the win, his first win with the Airhogs this year. That is strike one called to Carlos Ramirez on the outside. Ramirez 0 for 2 tonight. So Gutierrez in there for the starter, Ryan Searle. Here's the 0-1 pitch, popped high in the air to right. And out there are three Airhogs bodies out there. It's going to be Jimmy Mojica calling for it and making the grab, calling off Frazier Hall and Alex Nunez for out number one. Well, for Ryan Searle, it's 6 innings of work, 2 runs given up. They were both earned on 6 hits, no walks, and 1 strikeout. A good outing in most circumstances, but since the Airhogs have been kept scoreless, Searle is in line for the loss in this one, which would be his 3rd straight defeat against the Lemurs this year. Harrison Kane, the next batter. Gutierrez delivers ball 1 low and outside. Kane is 0 for 2, a pop-up to the second baseman and a fly out to left. Righty versus righty, Gutierrez with the pitch. And it's a little hop upstairs. 2-0 the count to Harrison Kane. Kane last season was in Laredo. Lives in Thousand Oaks, California, 25 years old. It's low again, and it's ball 3. This season, Kane is batting with an average of .294. And he'll look at a pitch low, and it's a 4-pitch walk allowed by Danny Gutierrez with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Lemurs up 2-0 over the Airhogs. That's the first walk of the game allowed by Airhogs pitching. And that's also the first walk allowed by any pitcher tonight. Jeremy Strawn for the Lemurs so far hasn't allowed a free pass either. Nick Van Straten is the batter with a runner on first. In there for called strike 1, the inside edge worked by Gutierrez. Van Straten 1 for 3, a single in the 3rd inning. So far, our only extra base hit of the night has been the solo home run by John Alonso. Chopped bunt right in front of first base, and it's off the glove of Jason Botts. And going to third is Kane. And now Van Straten into second base as the catcher, Brian Peterson, threw it a little bit to the right-hand side of Jason Botts, and he couldn't stop it from going into right field. That'll move runners up 1 base, 2nd and 3rd with only 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Likely another throwing error to the catcher, Brian Peterson. So we'll see how this is ruled. It looked like it was a sacrifice bunt attempt by Nick Van Straten. So we'll see if he even gets an at-bat for that play as the infield shifts into the grass for the next batter, J.P. Ramirez. Gutierrez delivers home. It's called strike 1 right down the middle. Ramirez tonight is 1 for 3 with a single in the 5th inning. And Danny Gutierrez now steps off the pitching rubber. Ramirez, the left-handed batter, against Gutierrez, the right-handed pitcher. Runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. The 0-1 is on the way. Popped high in the air. It's foul over our press box on the third base side. Now no balls and 2 strikes to Ramirez. On deck is Devin Goodwin. Well, a couple of errors now in this one, as that will be a base hit for Van Straten. and an error on the catcher, Brian Peterson. So Van Stratton does get a hit. That's a swing and a miss, and Gutierrez a big strikeout for out number 2 here in the 7th inning. That'll bring the infield back to its normal depth with runners at second and third and 2 outs. Devin Goodwin so far tonight is 1 for 3. Single came in the 3rd inning. Now it's runners at second and third for Goodwin in this bottom of the 7th. Danny Gutierrez in relief delivers the pitch, and it's called strike 1. Gutierrez's last appearance was in a start against the Kansas City T-Bones. He got the win in 6 innings of work, gave up 2 runs on 8 hits with 4 strikeouts and no walks. This is lined up the middle, a base hit. 1 run's going to score. Van Stratton racing around, and he will score a 2-run RBI single by Devin Goodwin, and it's 4-0 Laredo in the 7th. So Laredo doubles the lead once again. And now a runner at first base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning for Travis Denker. 0 for 3 tonight is Denker. Danny Gutierrez in relief has now allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, an error by the Airhogs. So those could be unearned runs for Gutierrez, as that's strike 1 called to Travis Denker, who grounded out to the pitcher in his last at-bat. He's grounded out 3 times tonight. Gutierrez set at the letters. He looks behind him at first and now delivers home. Popped up straight in the air. Does Peterson have a play at it? He's looking to position himself, and it's just inside, or outside the foul screen, I should say, bouncing in the first row of seats. No balls and 2 strikes to Travis Denker. On deck is Dennis Phipps with 2 outs and a man on first in the bottom of the 7th inning. 4-0 is the lead for Laredo now. They have out-hit the Airhogs 8-4, and the Airhogs have committed 2 errors, both by the catcher Peterson. This next pitch is hit high in the air to right field. Frazier Hall racing to the foul line. Is he going to make the catch? No, he slides to stop it, however. Going from first to third on the play is Goodwin, but that is a loop single for Travis Denker, and the wind helped to push that away from the right fielder Frazier Hall as he tried to slide to make that catch just near the foul line. It bounced in fair territory, and it ended up being a single for Denker. That'll bring up Dennis Phipps with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Phipps tonight is 0 for 2, was hit by a pitch and scored a run in the 2nd. The pitch from Gutierrez is in there for strike 1. Dennis Phipps had an RBI double on Friday night that drove in 2 runs. And last night he went 0 for 4. The pitch is upstairs to Phipps this time, and it's a ball and a strike. Ryan Searle now in more danger for his 3rd straight loss, as Gutierrez allowing a couple of runs in this 7th inning. Lemurs starter Jeremy Strawn has been dealing to the Airhogs all night. Here's the pitch from Gutierrez. A little high under the check swing from Dennis Phipps, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Airhogs have now been out hit 9-4 and outscored 4-0. Runners at the corners with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Gutierrez with the 2-1 pitch to Phipps, and it's a low Fastball again from Gutierrez, moving the count to 3-1. On deck for the Lemurs is John Alonso, the man that homered in the last inning. Gutierrez set from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Popped foul into the seats. A full count now to the veteran Dennis Phipps, who is the 7th batter of this inning. The Lemurs with 2 runs on a 2-run RBI single by Devin Goodwin. He now stands at third. Travis Denker at first. 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Gutierrez set for the payoff pitch. Here it is. And it's popped foul. A runner was going to second base. That was Denker. But he'll have to go back to first. Airhogs trying to sweep the Lemurs in this one. Were victorious on Friday by a score of 6-3. Last night the score was 9-6 in favor of Grand Prairie. Season series is tied at 4 games apiece. 3-2 payoff on the way. Again, tipped foul into the backstop. And Phipps fighting hard against Danny Gutierrez, who is normally in the starting rotation, but now in relief for the Airhogs. Gutierrez this season with Grand Prairie an ERA of 5.25. He started out this year in Fargo-Moorhead, starting in Fargo a total of 6 times. The 3-2 pitch bouncing in the dirt for ball 4. And the bases will be loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. John Alonso, who had a solo home run in the 6th inning to go 2 for 3 on the night, is the next batter. Alonso now with 13 home runs this year comes into a tie for second place on the team with Devin Goodwin in that home run category. Right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Gutierrez set from the stretch, trying to get out of this jam. Here's the first pitch, and it's in there for strike 1. Gutierrez is 27 years old. 6'2" over John Alonso, who is only 6 foot. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. And it's no balls and 2 strikes to John Alonso, the 8th batter of the inning. On deck is Byron Wiley. The bases loaded and 2 outs. Lemurs already with 2 runs in this inning to double the lead. It's 4-0 Laredo. Now Gutierrez with an 0-2 count against Alonso brings the pitch. That is lined just foul down the third baseline. Almost hit the base runner Goodwin, who was leading off at third. Bases juiced for the Lemurs. This has been the most dangerous attack all game in what has started out as a pitcher's duel. This is popped foul by Alonso. Ryan Searle only gave up 2 runs on 6 hits through 6 innings of work against Laredo. Danny Gutierrez coming in relief of him. Gutierrez started on Wednesday. Now pitching in relief on 3 days rest. Not scheduled to start again until the series this weekend against Lincoln. A little low and away from John Alonso on the next pitch. It's a ball and 2 strikes to the first baseman. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Airhogs trailing 4-0 to Laredo. Here's the 1-2. This is lined deep into left. Is it a fair ball? Yes, it is. A run scores. Now Denker comes around to score as well. Phipps will stop at third, as sliding in safely at second is Alonso. An RBI double, scoring 2 runs And it is now 6-0. Laredo leading it. And Eric Champion out from the dugout to possibly make a move here as Danny Gutierrez has allowed a couple of runs here in this 7th inning, or excuse me, that's 4 runs, I should say. And he will make a move to the bullpen as Gutierrez goes back to the dugout. It is now 6-0 Laredo, runners at second and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. In the final game of this 3-game set in Laredo, Texas. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. It's the bottom of the 7th. Runners at second and third for Laredo as they lead 6-0. Now in this 7th inning after 4 runs scored in the bottom half of this 7th. Second pitcher used in the inning and third of the game for Eric Champion. It's left-hander Bennett Whitmore. Whitmore has the best ERA on the pitching staff right now at 2.33. Appeared in 15 games, pitched in a total of 19 and a third, a record of 0-1. Only left-handed pitcher on the entire staff for the Airhogs. Listed as a rookie on the roster, 26 years old. Played for Traverse City in 2012, as well as in the Pacific Coast League earlier this season. He will face a left-handed batter, Byron Wiley, the DH. Wiley tonight an RBI single in the 2nd inning. He is 1 for 3, and he's the 9th batter of this 7th for the Lemurs as they lead it 6-0, and they've out-hit the Airhogs now 10-4. That's called strike 1 from Whitmore. Originally, this was turning into a real pitcher's duel. Ryan Searle was yanked, and then Danny Gutierrez came in relief. Gutierrez only lasting 2/3, giving up 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. This is bounced on the ground to first base. Botts with the stop, and he will take it to the bag and get the out on Wiley. So Whitmore does his job, gets the Airhogs out of the 7th inning, but not before 4 runs on 4 hits by the Lemurs, 1 error as well by the Airhogs, and 2 men left on base for Laredo. After 7, it is 6-0 Lemurs as the Airhogs have already taken the series. We're looking for the sweep, but now we'll have to do some work on the offensive end to try and get back into this game as we move to the 8th inning here at Unitrade Stadium. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. The score is now 6-0 in favor of the Laredo Lemurs. Airhogs looking to find the scoreboard here in the top of the 8th. Leading it off is Frazier Hall, and followed by Madison Carter and Eric Baker. 7-8-9 hitters in the lineup. And the starter for Laredo, Jeremy Strawn, is still in there. And why wouldn't he be? Scoreless night so far through 7 innings. He delivers ball 1 low to Frazier Hall, who is 0 for 2. Ground out to second and a ground out to the pitcher for Frazier Hall. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. And the 1-0 is in there for strike 1. Ball and a strike now to Frazier Hall, the 26-year-old. Came to Grand Prairie last season after playing for South Bend in the Arizona Diamondbacks minor league system. Lined into left field. J.P. Ramirez going back. He's going to watch it bounce off the wall. Frazier Hall will take 1 base and now go 2 for a leadoff double. And Frazier Hall with the first extra base hit of the game for the Airhogs. That is double number 14 on the season. Well, that's the start that the Airhogs need to try and overcome this 6-run deficit. They'll only have 2 innings to do so. Madison Carter is the batter now. He is also 0 for 2 tonight, a fly out to right field and a ground out to first. Strawn sets and delivers. Swing and a miss by Carter. Battle between a couple of rookies here. Strawn, 23 years old, out of Florida Atlantic. And Madison Carter, 22, out of Texas. Here's the 0-1. This is lined over to the shortstop. 1 hop fielded by Goodwin. And a 1-hop throw to Alonso. And that's a great play by John Alonso, who stretched to make that stop. He barely had his foot on the base. And he actually almost did the splits there as he landed on his backside after that one. And it's a great play to get the throw that was to his right side for out number 1. It retires Madison Carter on the ground out to shortstop. The next batter is Eric Baker. He takes strike 1 from Strawn. Baker also 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs back to the pitcher. Frazier Hall at second base after the double. 1 out in the top of the 8th. In the dirt and staying at second base is Hall as Ramirez blocks it to his right. A ball and a strike now to Baker. Airhogs trail 6-0. They've been outscored. Well, they've been out-hit 10-5 in this one now. Josh Strawn been dealing for Laredo in his 5th career start. That is bounced slowly on the ground foul down the first base line. A ball and 2 strikes to Eric Baker, the rookie out of Rogers State. Jimmy Mojica on deck for Grand Prairie, who are looking for the sweep tonight against Laredo after a couple of 3-run victories against the Lemurs in the first 2 of this series. Hit high in the air to right, but it's going to be blown back into shallow right field for Dennis Phipps to make the play. Wind a factor on that fly ball to right field, and Baker will sit down on out number 2. Now it's Jimmy Mojica, the batter. 2 strikeouts tonight for Mojica. He is 0 for 3 in this game. Last night, Mojica went 1 for 5 with a single and a run scored. On Friday night, 2 for 5 with a double and a single and 2 runs. That is called strike 1 from Mojica, who has not liked the zone from home plate umpire Gilbert Sees at all tonight. Right-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. 2 outs and a runner at second base for the Airhogs. The pitch from Strawn. Popped up in the air on the right side. This will be a play for either the second baseman, Denker, or Alonso. And Denker is the one that stabbed his glove out to make the catch, but it was close to being dropped by both of them, as Denker finally at the last minute called for it and made the grab. And that's out number 3 on the pop-up to second. So no run score on one hit, a man left at second base by the Airhogs, and they still trail 6-0 going to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Top of the 9th inning, the Airhogs trail the Laredo Lemurs 6-0. The final game before the All-Star break. It's actually the bottom of the 8th inning. Excuse me. Not the top of the 9th. That's the next frame. Bennett Whitmore is out there to face Carlos Ramirez, Harrison Kane, and Nick Van Straten in this bottom of the 8th. Whitmore got out of the bottom of the 7th, getting one out on Byron Wiley. Now comes in for this 8th. Ramirez popped up to shortstop to start out the 7th inning, which led to, well, didn't really lead to 4 runs in the 7th, but he pops up again here on the left side. This time Abel Nieves is going to call for it, and he will make the grab. 1 pitch, 1 out for Bennett Whitmore in the 8th. So Ramirez 0 for 4 tonight. The next batter is Harrison Kane. He is 0 for 2. In his last time up, he drew a walk and scored a run in the 7th. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher, Bennett Whitmore, now set from the belt. First pitch to Kane is taken on the outside edge for strike 1. Airhogs trail 6-0. They've been out hit 10-5, and they've also committed 2 errors in this one. Bouncer to third. Nieves with the throw to first. A little bit to the left of Botts, but he was able to stab it before the runner Kane ran into the tag there. And it's going to be out number 2. Now Nick Van Straten is the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Van Straten is 2 for 4. Grabbed an infield single and then advanced to second base on the throwing error by the catcher Brian Peterson. Bennett Whitmore, first pitch to Van Straten, is swung on and missed a big home run-like cut from Van Straten. And it is strike 1. The Airhogs' next series will start on Wednesday against the Lincoln Salt Dogs. That's on the road, and it's a 4-game set. Starting at 7:05 p.m. on Wednesday night in Lincoln, Nebraska. A ball and a strike. Now to Nick Van Straten, the leadoff hitter, who lives in Birmingham, Missouri. Bounces this one slowly to shortstop. Mojica has to charge in and make a quick throw to first, and beating Van Straten by about a half step at the bag. That's out number 3, a 1-2-3 inning for Bennett Whitmore in the 8th. We move to the 9th. The Airhogs will have to overcome a 6-run deficit. They trail at 6-0 to the Laredo Lemurs in the final game before the All-Star break. You're listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. Welcome back. It's the top of the ninth inning. The Airhogs trailing on the road to the Laredo Lemurs 6-0. Jeremy Strawn, the rookie, will be out there for the ninth inning to try and finish off a complete game shutout. He's in his 5th start in his professional career. So far does not have a complete game. He had 7 innings of shutout work on July 17th at Sioux Falls in a 1-0 victory for the Laredo Lemurs on the road against the Canaries. Strawn is looking for his 3rd win consecutively to try and move to 4-0 on the season. The first batter he'll face is Alex Nunez. He takes strike 1 on the inside edge. Nunez tonight is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. This game has moved very quickly. That's been due to Josh Strawn's quick work of the Airhogs so far in this one, as Nunez swings and misses wildly at that pitch, and it snowballs in 2 strikes. He'll be followed by Abel Nieves and Jason Botts, the 2-3-4 hitters for the Airhogs, who are down by 6 runs, but this is the right part of the lineup to start a 6-run comeback, potentially. Strawn winds up for the 0-2 to Nunez. That's bounced on the ground. The first baseman, Alonso, slides to make the stop. Covering at the bag is the pitcher, and they just get the out on Nunez, beating him by a split second at the first base bag. And it's 1 down in the 9th inning. Well, Josh Strawn is now only at 90 pitches. He has been phenomenal in this start against the Airhogs, only allowing 5 hits and no runs so far through 8 1/3. Next batter, Abel Nieves, who is 0 for 3. Couple of flyouts, as well as a ground out to third base in this one. Righty versus righty. Strawn winds up and delivers. This is popped foul and out of play down the right side. 0-1 the count to the third baseman, Nieves, who will, after this game, fly up to Winnipeg for the All-Star game as the third base starter for the South American Association All-Star team. Below the knees on the first pitch from Strawn, or the next pitch, I should say, and it's now a ball and a strike to Abel Nieves. Jason Botts on deck, 1 out, nobody on, top of the 9th inning. This is a little low again to Nieves, and it's 2-1. Jeremy Strawn is in his 5th start. He's also appeared 4 times in relief. One of those times was against the Airhogs. Gave up no runs on no hits on June 28th in 2 innings of work in relief when the Airhogs had a big lead. The Airhogs ended up winning that game 15-5 here at Unitrade Stadium back in late June. Nieves bounces a pitch foul. It's now an even count at 2-2. But Jeremy Strawn now on the winning side of things and trying to finish a complete game shutout. A fastball upstairs. The count's now full to Nieves. So far this season, the Lemurs have not had anybody get a complete game, as this is popped foul into the screen by Nieves. Still 3-2 the count. Also no shutouts for the Lemurs in this one. The 3-2 pitch, hit in the air to center, but it's right at Nick Van Straten. He only had to make one step to his left side to position himself for that grab, and it's 2 up, 2 down in the ninth. The next batter, Jason Botts. Botts tonight is 1 for 3, a leadoff single in the 5th inning. Playing at first base as he has all series. Earlier in the road trip, he played as the DH as well as in the outfield. Little outside, it's ball 1. Botts, a switch hitter, batting lefty against the right-handed rookie starter, Jeremy Strawn, 1 out away from a complete game shutout. Low and inside this time, it's 2-0 to Jason Botts. The Airhogs are 4-4 against Laredo this year. The gap between these two teams in the South Division is now 6 games as it stands, as Botts bounces a pitch just foul down the first base line. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. The Airhogs are 15 games back of Wichita for the South Division lead. And now I should say 15.5, as Wichita are winners over the Amarillo Sox tonight, 10-6. So Laredo can keep pace with the win, and the Airhogs would grab the loss in this one potentially and drop to 16 games back of the division lead. Airhogs looking for win number 30. They're 29-36 on the year. Laredo at 35-30. Here's the windup and the 2-1 pitch, and it's a little upstairs to Botts. 3-1 on deck is Brian Myro. 2 outs and nobody on base. The Airhogs down 6-0. But the story has been Jeremy Strawn, and he winds up for the 3-1 against Jason Botts. It's high for ball 4. That is the first walk allowed of the game by Strawn. And it comes with 2 outs in the ninth, as Brian Myro will be the batter. Myro tonight is 1 for 3 as well. A single came in the 5th inning. He also struck out in his last at-bat. Certainly a night to remember for Jeremy Strawn, and it'd be even more special if he could close out this complete game shutout here in this ninth. A swing and a miss by Myro there on a fastball from Strawn, and it's 0-1 the count. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. Next time these two will meet, they will have a doubleheader on August 3rd, finishing up a game that was not finished in Grand Prairie. This is popped into left field, and it's just foul for J.P. Ramirez, as he will not have a play at it. It bounces just beyond the Airhogs bullpen on the left field side. No balls and 2 strikes to Brian Myro. So that'll be a 5-game home series for the Airhogs against the Laredo Lemurs in early August. That's the next homestand for the Airhogs. Strawn, no balls and 2 strikes against Brian Myro. Here is the pitch. Called strike 3. And that is the game. A big night for Jeremy Strawn. A complete game shutout. And the Lemurs avoid the sweep, taking this one 6-0 here at Unitrade Stadium. The rookie has an unbelievable night against the Grand Prairie Airhogs, only allowing 5 hits all evening and not giving up a run in his first complete game ever as a professional ball player in his 5th start ever. Meanwhile, the Airhogs move to 29-37 on the year. Ryan Searle picks up the loss, moving to 0-3 against Laredo this year in 4-6 overall on the season. And the Airhogs Now we'll go to the All-Star break. That's 2 days off. Abel Nieves won't have that much of a break. He will go up to Winnipeg for the All-Star game. And the Airhogs' next game will be on Wednesday night in Lincoln, Nebraska at 7:05 p.m., starting a 4-game set against the Lincoln Salt Dogs. So tonight's game ends in a loss for the Airhogs by a score of 6-0. Here are your final stat lines for the game. The Laredo Lemurs score 6 runs on 10 hits, commit no errors. The Airhogs, no runs on 5 hits, 2 errors for them in the field. So the Airhogs will travel back home for a couple days off and then travel north once again to Lincoln to start a 4-game set on Wednesday night. And we hope you will join us for that on Ustream for Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. We thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball live on Ustream. Once again, your final score, the Laredo Lemurs 6, the Grand Prairie Airhogs nothing. We will see you tomorrow at, well, not tomorrow, Wednesday night at 7:05 p.m. for the Airhogs' first game on the road against the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Until then, I'm Andy Humphrey. So long from Unitrade Stadium in Laredo, Texas. You've been listening to Grand Prairie Airhogs Baseball. We'll see you next time, everyone.